Well, welcome back to the Central Valley Buzz, everybody. I'm your host, Chuck Leonard. William, let's bring in Mr. Michael Bogart. Hello, sir. How's it going? Nice to see you. What's happening?
Well, I wanted to talk.
Are you hungry?
You know what I am? I'm sitting there looking at that wrap, and it looks pretty good.
It is. I'm trying to kill it on the commercials. What's going on?
I wanted to talk a little bit today about a very famous figure in religious circles or non-religious circles. His name is Richard Dawkins, and I think that's going to go up on the screen.
Is he in the Bible?
Here. Richard Dawkins is probably the poster boy for something called the New Atheism. I think I brought a picture in.
New Atheism?
Yeah.
He's the poster boy for the New Atheism. Boy, I bet his parents are proud.
Well, yeah, I don't know what his parents thought, but he was a former teacher of biological evolution at Oxford University.
Does he look mean?
He actually looks quite engaging, you know, looks like a really nice guy, but he's actually turned into sort of an internet troll against all religious belief, and of course, particularly against Christianity.
What's his angle? What does he say? Just it's not real?
He says that, well, he's got a lot of quotes, but he says religious belief is a form of mental insanity. So he basically says if you knew enough science, you would think that Christianity or any religious belief is just absurd. And he's said that over and over again. He's got a famous book, a bestseller called The God Delusion, several other books that he's written.
Yeah, can I get a picture? This is the guy right there?
That's Richard Dawkins.
He looks a little crazy.
He's actually gotten kind of meaner towards the end of his life now that he's got a foundation of basically the New Atheist Foundation.
So he's an atheist. And let's get this straight. So atheist just does not believe in God. It doesn't mean that he believes in Satan or he follows Satan.
Atheists technically believe that there is no God, no supreme being, no deity.
But they're not devil worshippers either.
Oh no, they don't worship it.
They just think that it's all a bunch of baloney.
Correct.
It's a big fairy tale.
And of course, you've got a spectrum of atheists. I mean, some are really militant and angry, and some are not. You know, But
is he militant and angry?
He has got a crusade against religion and against Christianity.
Why is he so mad? Why can't people just believe in what they want to believe?
Yeah, let's show him the T-shirt. That's the Richard Dawkins.
Together we can find the cure.
Yeah. Wow. So you can see that, you know, he's got his agenda. He's very famous. He gets high bucks for speaking places. He sells his books and all that, which is all legitimate.
Okay, hey.
Yeah.
Hey. What's his name?
Richard Dawkins.
Richard Dawkins. He's on his deathbed. Does he all of a sudden find Jesus?
I have no idea.
You know what I mean?
Well,
the last hope.
It may. I've heard.
This guy right here?
Yeah. I've heard many stories about people that don't have any religious faith, but then when they're dying, sometimes that they will reconsider.
Someone close to them's very sick, you know?
That's true.
They land in the county jail.
He made an interesting statement. This is what I really wanted to focus on. He made an interesting statement a few years ago with the spread of radical Islam. And I want to read you this so I get it exactly right. Here's what he said. He said, I have mixed feelings now about my wishes for the decline of Christianity insofar as Christianity might be a defense against something worse. As far as I know, there are no Christians blowing up buildings. I'm not aware of any Christian suicide bombers. I'm not aware of any major Christian denomination that believes that you should be killed for leaving the faith. And so he was saying that, and if you look at Western Europe, I think we've discussed this before. Western Europe about 50, 60 years ago began to abandon Christianity on a large-scale basis. If you go to Western Europe today, the churches are basically empty. Some of them have been sold as nightclubs or even sold to the Muslims as mosques. And what you see today is a Europe that is absolutely has no defense against radical Islam. It doesn't know what to do with these people because it has removed all of the framework for understanding religious devotion and passion. And what Dawkins is saying is maybe we shouldn't get rid of Christianity just yet. At least they've got some framework for dealing with radical Islam.
So is he contradicting himself? It sounds like he is. Is he softening up in his older age? What's happening?
He's rethinking whether or not his earlier statements were that civilization would be better off without Christianity or any religion, and now he's saying, yeah, but we've just removed all of our ability to defend ourselves against radical Islam. And you can see this in Europe. That's why the United States is not nearly in the jeopardy that Europe is in terms of radical Islam. So I guess what I'm saying is Dawkins, even this poster boy for radical, new atheism, has basically said, I'm not sure we're ready to get rid of Christianity just yet. It might be valuable to keep a hold of it for some reason.
Well, there's a lot more Christians than there is atheists.
Well, certainly. And the Christians have been sort of beaten into submission here by people like Dawkins who...
By the internet.
Yeah, the internet. And then, Dawkins loves to pick a Christian that's not as good at debating as he is and then work him over in some kind of public setting and so forth.
Well, isn't that what the devil does?
Well, if you want to ask me personally, I would say you're right, Chuck. But as an outspoken Christian today myself, I think it's time for Christians to provide reasonable, not radical or passionate, flying off the cuff. We need to be able to answer people's questions and deal with people's objections in a reasonable and patient way.
Watch this. You know what would be a great way to be able to answer those questions?
What's that?
Get the 45-minute Bible. Oh, yeah. Right?
Chuck, you are my hero every week. And I didn't happen to bring a copy with me today, but the 45-Minute Bible is my book that I regularly make available to people. As I say before, it's no substitute for reading the Bible itself, but it's a good entry for those who have no background in the Bible. I also have a book on Islam, which is very fair and balanced, and people have been able to kind of get a handle on what this thing of Islam really is by reading my book.
You have the Understanding the Jehovah's.
Yes.
Last week, and they were in our neighborhood. I was going to give them a copy of your book when they came to the door. Guess what? They passed us right by.
They didn't even want to talk to you, Chuck?
Well, they must have known that I didn't need it.
You're one of the few people that they've skipped, Chuck. I think
They're trying to touch everyone in the world?
They have an agenda. This is official policy on Jehovah's Witnesses. They want to knock on every door in the world. Now that's ambition.
There.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Michael Bogart. Check him out at aspectsministries.com. Look for some of his books. Buy their books. Give him a little note when you buy the book. Tell him that you saw him right here on The Buzz. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Thanks, Chuck. See you.